Peace, y'all. Welcome, my soul tribe. I'm here in the kitchen making breakfast because I'm breaking my fast, but it's actually lunch. So I wanted to come on and share the wellness or the weight loss journey I've been on for the past about 6 weeks now. So I've always been mindful about health and wellness, and it's actually something that I've studied, ranging from nutrition to veganism, raw foodism, um, wellness, exercise, holistic healing, natural ways of healing, plant medicine, herbs, nature connection. So I've gained um, a lot of knowledge, and then also implementing those things in my life have drastically improved the quality of my life and, just impacted every area. And it runs so deep that even childbirth, it's an area that I've studied and have had three natural childbirths at home. So it's to say it's something I'm very passionate about. But my youngest daughter is now 9 years old, and I've had four daughters, four pregnancies, four births, and for women that can impact your body. And for myself, after my last child 9 years ago, I kept the weight on. During pregnancy, it's normal to gain, 20, 25 pounds by the time the end of your pregnancy is. But I kept that weight on and gained a few more pounds. And one reason why that happened was because I was breastfeeding, and breastfeeding requires a higher caloric load. You need to eat more to produce nutritious milk. So after 4 years of breastfeeding my youngest daughter, I stopped breastfeeding, but I keep eating the same amount. And I did not adjust my diet to reflect that change of not breastfeeding anymore. Fast forward, that has been one of the reasons I've kept the weight on. Another one is I love sweets. I used to love sweets. I'm gonna say that. And then also because of cortisol and the effects of that hormone in your body, and stress actually causes you to keep more weight on. So, being a single woman and mother has not been the easiest thing. And, all these years carrying a lot of the load myself, the physical labor, the mothering, the nurturing, and then still feeding my own passions and interests have had some effects. So, more recently, I've really felt a really big shift in my consciousness, my awareness, and I really want my physical body to reflect what I feel inside. Water break. I want to feel more confident in my body. I want to be able to wear certain things and not be self conscious when it comes to my mom pouch here. Um, so about 6 weeks ago, I joined the gym in my neighborhood. Thankfully, it's literally around the corner, and I've been very consistent with working out. And now I'm on the 6th week of my workout plan. So I have an app that I use, and it shows me every day what exercises to do in the gym and what muscles to target. So that has been keeping me on track as far as working out. And about 2 weeks into starting working out, I decided, all right, the next step is to drastically change my diet to get the results that I want. There's a lot of emphasis put on working out, but the big not so secret is that health and wellness and the body that you desire is created right here in the kitchen, because it's not what you do sometimes that's really going to determine and impact your health, but it's what you're doing all of the time. And what's something that we do all the time? We eat. We eat all the time. Some people several times a day. You have breakfast, you have lunch, you have dinner, And then maybe you're the type of person who like to snack in between. And a high carbohydrate and heavily processed diet lacking the vital nutrition and macronutrients that your body needs is going to keep you on that cycle of eating and snacking every few hours. Yare, set a timer for 3 minutes for me. So I'm putting my eggs in the water to boil. This is one of the things I eat to get the protein that I need to fuel my muscle growth. So with the fact of protein and knowing that I needed to drastically change my nutrition and eating habits to get the results that I want, I decided to change my diet. So in the past, I've done keto. Keto is very low carb and a high fat diet. And the benefit of keto is that usually on the standard diet, our body is burning glucose to give us energy. But with a low carbohydrate diet, like how the keto diet is, you're basically training your body to burn fat for fuel instead of carbohydrates. Now, this might sound like a crazy thing, but it started, I don't know, like many years ago, and it was a very therapeutic diet. That's how it came about. The ketogenic diet was used as a therapeutic diet, specifically for degenerative brain health. And when you think about it, it makes sense because nowadays they're calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. And it's shown that the more you eat the sugar and a high carb diet, the way it affects the brain it needs really good and nourishing fats. And people have seen that if you implement a ketogenic diet, it improves brain health and can actually reduce and kind of reverse some of the damaging effects of Alzheimer's. So, with all of this in mind, and my love to study and know new things and try new things, a few years ago I tried the ketogenic diet, and I had really good results. Like in a month time, I think I lost about like 15 pounds, and I could see my body transforming and the fat melting. And at that time, I wasn't even working out, I didn't have a gym. I lived in Middle Tennessee, far from everything. So there was no gym close by, but I was just doing like my regular routine, getting into nature, walking. Um, so at that time, I seen really great results with the ketogenic diet. And more recently, I knew that I needed to change my diet. And, ketogenic diet popped into my mind because I know of the benefits. That's 7 minutes? No, I need 7 minutes. So at this time, the ketogenic diet called me again, and that's how I've been eating. Right now, I'm doing lazy keto, so I'm not like scientifically, meticulously tracking my macronutrients. I just know what needs to be on my plate, what I need to eat. So I'm eating low carb vegetables, mostly like leafy greens. So right now, I'm chopping this cabbage up. That's going to be on my plate. And I have this baby arugula. So all of my meals, I have a big serving of vegetables, low carb vegetables, and then I have my protein, and then I have fats on that. So the healthy fats can be coconut oil, um, olive oil, and avocado oil. Those are the three primary fats that I use because that's what I have access to. And it has been giving me results because I combine this ketogenic approach with intermittent fasting. What you'll realize is that fat is a more sustainable fuel for your body. I forget what the exact number is, but so basically, burning fat for fuel is a cleaner fuel source for your body, and also it's more sustainable and you get more energy. So I also implement intermittent fasting. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because, well, one, I'm getting a whole lot of vegetables and fiber that fills me up and keeps me full for longer, but also fat actually makes you more satiated and it keeps you fuller for longer. So, what I do is I go to the gym in the morning and then I come home and I make my first meal of the day, my breakfast. So, sometimes that falls between like 10, 11, 12, or 1 o'clock. Today, it's a little bit later. It's about 1 o'clock now, and I'm going to have my first meal, and that's because I got to the gym a little bit later. Um, but this will be my first meal, and then I'll basically fast the rest of the day until I have my second and final meal of the day, which every evening I have a large salad with a lot of fresh vegetables and salad, and then I do a big serving of protein with that. And then I also make my own homemade salad dressing. So I'm like having a lot of vegetables and protein and then fats on that. And it has really helped with my sugar craving because it's just the way I grew up. I grew up eating sweets. I grew up, having dessert after meals. So that trained my palate to, crave that sweetness. And now, since I've been on this diet and really changed my lifestyle, I I see the shift in my palate, and I'm no longer having those cravings for sweets. hmm
Question: why do you say "and"
I don't know.
instead
So, what you got to understand is you have a whole ecosystem in your body. You have what you would call your microbiome. And this is kind of like the biome or the environment that is in your body. And the microbiome that I'm specifically talking about is the one that is in your gut. So it is said that 90% of your immune system is in your gut. So if you're not eating correctly and feeding the good bacteria and creating a healthy microbiome, it's going to impact your immunity and the level of health that you're able to achieve. It also affects brain health. They have you have research that shows of how changing your diet has cured depression and really improves people's state of mind, and that's because of that gut brain connection. So once I started changing my diet and cutting out all the sugars and the heavy carbs, I'm changing my microbiome. So now I have a lot of good bacteria that I've been feeding with these vegetables and healthy foods. If I was to continue my diet eating a lot of sugar, desserts, um, that would be feeding the bad bacteria. So it's really like a war of colonization that is happening in your gut. And it's either the good bacteria is winning and colonizing your microbiome, or the bad bacteria is winning. So it depends on who you're feeding. And it's the same with the mind. Your state of mind depends on which thoughts you're feeding. If you're having good thoughts that are positive and creating good emotions, or if you're having negative thoughts, overthinking, anxiety, worry, and that's creating negative emotions. So, in my journey of like health and wellness and nutrition, I started making sourdough bread. So, through the process of creating a wild yeast and not using the commercial and artificial yeast, The bread goes through a process of fermentation where it transforms the gluten and makes the bread more healthy than typical bread. I'm also brewing kombucha. So this is Jun kombucha, and the reason why this is different from regular kombucha is because the SCOBY, or the mother, it is fed honey and green tea instead of sugar and black tea. So Jun is known as the champagne of kombucha because it's lighter, it's more bubbly, and the taste is just a little bit, it's like better. So this is one way where I am feeding my gut microbiome. And in the same way, a ketogenic diet is also an intense diet for intense results. So by keeping my carbs low and having a good amount of fats, I'm switching my body and training my body to now tap into fat as its primary fuel source. So what this allows me to do is actually, it allows me to fast and skip meals without being really hungry. Because if I'm primarily burning fat and I have fat on my body, if I'm not eating fats from the outside or eating food from the outside and putting it in my body is then going to tap into my fat stores and it's going to burn fat. And this is what you want. So if you want those intense results, if you have, a high fat percentage on your body, then a ketogenic diet would be great for you. So I don't know like my level of ketosis, because you can actually measure your blood ketone levels, just like how you can measure your blood's insulin levels. You can see how deep of ketosis you're in. So, like I said, I'm doing more like a lazy keto. So I'm not tracking and being, totally meticulous with everything. And I do that for a purpose because it's kind of easier for me. Now, when you start changing your diet and your lifestyle, you don't want to make too many changes at once because then it won't be sustainable. So I purposefully started just going to the gym, working out every day. Then I make sure I'm drinking enough water. So I have my water bottle here. And what you see is lemons in here. And I take one of these to the gym with me and I finish it before I leave the gym. I come home, I fill it up again, pure water and lime, and I finish it. And then, if I've done it right, in the evening, I can fill this up again and have a third bottle. So optimally, 3 bottles is how much water I need. And now that I've kind of had the discipline and the building the willpower and feeling the benefits of how good I feel, it's easier to maintain it and then implement other changes instead of trying to do, like a New Year's resolution where you try to change everything at once and then like 2 weeks later, you quit. I've been there. I don't know about you. I've definitely been there. Usually it doesn't take me this long to make my food, but because I'm talking, it's taking a little bit longer. So what do I have to do now? I just gotta cook. Is that enough vegetables? And the more healthy you eat, more fruits and vegetables, the more that your body is going to crave these nourishing and healthy foods. Because like I said, your gut microbiome is going to change. Right now, if you're eating a lot of sugars and starches and desserts, when you have a craving, it's really your gut microbiome who's craving another fix. And it's like you've trained them and they've now trained you. You train them by feeding them more carbs and sugars and sweets, and then they train you and get you to keep feeding them by having these cravings. So when you switch it up, you are going to, like for myself, I have a salad every evening. And by the time the evening comes, I'm craving a salad because I've trained my body to have that association, and it tastes so good. So it's now become like a ritual for me, and also a blessing to have the time to prepare these healthy foods that I know are going to give me the results that I need. So every evening, I know some people like to do meal prepping and they'll make a whole thing, take one day and make a lot and then just, eat it as they go. But for me, I'm at home, I work from home, I'm a digital nomad, so I'm not going somewhere and going to an office. And I really enjoy cooking. So every day I can change the variation and the varieties of salads and vegetables that I'm making, and I really enjoy that, so it works for me. But yeah, I just really primarily wanted to come on and share this journey that I'm on with you and update you of my wins as I keep going along. And, to share some of this information that I've, accumulated all these years. Because like I said, it's a passion of mine. And I'm hoping that that will inspire you to make the changes that you desire. And I learned a beautiful formula about getting what you want. We all have desires, right? There's a desire for something. Your job is not to worry about exactly how you're going to get to your desire, right? Your job is to remove all of the resistance to that desire. So if you have a desire for money, but you have so much resistance around money and how you're going to get it, and you have these limiting beliefs, that's going to hold you back from manifesting your desires. So if you have a desire to improve your health, to lose weight, you got to look at your deeper beliefs about all those things. What do you believe about your body? What do you believe about food? How do you relate to food? Do you have a toxic relationship with food? Meaning, are you an emotional eater? You use food as a tool to soothe you. I've been there. That's how I've used sugar all these years. It's a nice hit of dopamine to eat something and feel like that love and that comfy feeling. So it can be like a numbing mechanism. A lot of us use food to numb out and to self-soothe. And you have the ability to, rewire your brain and how you think about and relate to food, and lay the ground for some healthy habits and a sustainable lifestyle. And that's what I'm doing here. It's not it's not a trend or a fad. I want to lay a solid foundation for a healthful lifestyle as I get older. Because I'm 37 now, and I want to improve my health so that as I age, my health isn't declining. And, they said the best time to plant a tree was 15 or 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So if you're looking to make the changes and improve your health and wellness, to lose weight, the best time to start is now. And it starts by, 1, deciding the results that you want, and then taking consistent action to produce those results. So if you say you want to lose weight and you want that hot girl body, you can't be eating donuts and all these sugary things because it's not going to produce those results. So decide and have that clarity and make a road plan for the habits that you can start to implement in your life to get you there. For me, it's going to the gym. It is being like religious on my nutritional game in the kitchen. It is making sure I have enough water. It is lowering my cortisol and my stress load. It is going to bed at a good time. It is just learning to enjoy life more, so I'm in a more blissful state to maintain equilibrium and to keep my emotions in check, and also to be aware of my patterns and habits in the past, and have the courage to step out of my comfort zone and do something totally different. So thank you for listening. If you've gotten this far, high five to you. And follow me on this journey. I'm looking forward to that day when I get to my goal weight and, you know, the muffin top has melted away. And I feel confident enough to be in a two-piece again. That's one of my major goals. I love the beach, but I'm in like a one-piece because my belly is not, you know, it does affect my confidence level as far as wearing what I desire. But overall, I'm a pretty confident person. But I do want to just feel good in my body, and I know it's possible. So I've seen a lot of people who have done it, and it's been inspiring and motivating to watch their journey. So peace and love, y'all. I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to finish cooking, and I'm going to drop in a picture of my meal so you can see how I eat. Peace and love.